Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Do you want to know how to make plant milk super simple? Well, I'm going to show you how today. These recipes come right from my cookbooks, you guys. I write a monthly cookbook every single month, and we're working out of issue number 8 right now. But I want to tell you that I'm about to give you one of my favorite staple recipes, and that's for plant milk. And you can find this recipe in every single monthly cookbook that I offer. And the reason I offer staple recipes, in addition to breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, and sweets, is because I want you to save yourself some money and some time in the kitchen. One of the most important parts about making this commitment to a healthy lifestyle that is going plant-based is all about trying to make it convenient and try to make the kitchen a really easy space to be in. So I'm going to show you how to make plant milk, and this is really super simple. I'm going to show you how to make it out of a machine. I love this machine, and I'll explain it. If you want access to this cookbook, I'm going to put the links to the cookbook, and you can actually buy the cookbooks as one-offs, individual cookbooks. They're awesome that way. Or if you want to become a monthly member, you will get a new cookbook delivered to your inbox every single month for 20% off. So I'm really excited to showcase this recipe because I've been asked to showcase it several times, and I definitely tried to showcase it last week and then forgot one of the parts of the machine, so I couldn't finish. So I'm going to finish today, but I'm going to go from the very beginning all the way through to the end. And if you have any questions along the way, let our sister know. You can actually pop them right in the comment box. Hi, Cheryl. And I'd love to engage with you in this process of cooking and living a healthier lifestyle. All right. So any questions about veganism, plant-based living, anything really, the floor is yours. I'm here for you. All right. So I'm going to do an overhead cam and a split screen. You guys, I'm going to showcase how to do this inside of an Almond Cow. Now, this machine right here is called an Almond Cow. It's a really wonderful machine. If you actually purchase one of my cookbooks or become a member, you're going to get a discount to purchase this Almond Cow, which is an awesome discount. Thank you so much, Almond Cow, for offering it to us. It really is an awesome thing to invest in because I don't know if you know this, but plant milk is one of these ingredients that you buy in market that is really kind of like an exorbitant amount of money. You're going to spend over 200% the raw cost of the actual item itself when you buy it in market. So know that that's what happens at the retailers. When you go to the grocery store and you purchase things like specialty ingredients, that's plant milks, plant cheese, plant yogurt, plant-based bread, vegan cheese, vegan milk, all of that, right? These are all synonyms for the same thing. You're going to spend a lot more money in market as opposed to actually making them or preparing them in your home. And I wanted to make it really easy because I don't think that people realize how simple it is to make these staples. So let's get into it. Plant milk. Here's what you're going to need. I'm going to actually add some water to the base of my Almond Cow machine. Now, it's about 5 cups here, and it's going to end up yielding about 64 ounces. Now, if you don't have an Almond Cow, here's another option for you. You can also do this in a high-speed blender. So I have my Vitamix here, and what you would want to do is you want to take some nuts, and you want to actually soak your nuts in water. And today, I'm going to use some cashew pieces and some coconut pieces here. Now, these are amazing large bags, 3-pound bags from the Almond Cow. And I want to show you the couple different distinctions here. We have the USDA organic distinction. We have the glyphosate residue free certification and the non-GMO project verified certification. Really kind of cool. When you purchase nuts that are high quality, you're going to save money because you're buying in bulk, but you're also going to make sure that they are actually better for the gut microbiome, which is really important. We talk about the gut body a lot here at Plant-Based Made Easy. So if you're going to make this in a high-speed blender, you definitely want to soak your nuts, and you can use any nuts. You can use cashews, you can use coconuts, you can use pepitas or pumpkin seeds. You can even use seeds like hemp seeds, chia seed, flax seed. All of these types of nuts or seeds are going to give you an amazing plant milk. You can even use walnuts and pistachios and make green milk. I've used lots of different combinations of things. But if you're going to do this in a high-speed blender, you definitely want to soak your nuts. If you're going to do this in the Almond Cow, which I'm going to prepare my milk in, you don't need to soak your nuts. You can actually prepare this from like straight up raw nuts and seeds. All right, so let me finish telling you how to do it. Once you, in your high-speed blender, once you soak your nuts, then you want to drain your nuts and you want to put them inside of your blender, the base of your blender, with fresh water, okay? You don't want to use the liquid that you've soaked your nuts in because that liquid is now full of phytic acid, okay? That might give you a bellyache. So you want to throw that out. Just drain your nuts, add your soaked nuts without the water into the base of the machine, add a little bit of water, about 1 cup to 2 cups, depending on how milky or how creamy you want it. and you want to blend it until it's really nice and blended and smooth. Then here's the second piece. If you're going to do this without a machine, you need a nut milk bag. Now, you guys, both of these items are available on my Amazon page. You can shop in my Amazon store. It's awesome. I have this Vitamix, which, by the way, is really cool because it comes with also a food processor. So PS, check that out. I'll put the link at the end of the show. And you can also purchase the almond bags. Now, this comes with 2 or 3 in a pack. I love, these are Ely's Best almond milk bags. These are great for lots of different reasons. You can make it to, you can use it to make Greek yogurt. You can use it to make cheese, specific kinds of cheese, or you can use it to make milk. But you know what? I don't actually even use this anymore because I've graduated to the Almond Cow. So let's get back to it. So in the base of my machine, I have the 5 cups of water. Now, the next thing that I want is let's measure out the nuts. So the cool thing about this machine is it comes with really great parts. It has here the filter basket, and that's where I'm going to place the nuts and the sweeteners. And it also comes with this cup. Do you see these divots on the bottom? Well, this is a collector's cup here, and it actually is going to keep the filter basket. Do you see this here? Standing straight up, okay? So to this, I'm going to add a combination of cashew pieces, 2/3 of a cup, and coconut. Now, this is my favorite combo. I call it Cocoa Cash. It's really yummy. It's creamy. It's delicious. It's very similar to whole milk. So I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup. Eyeball it, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I want a little bit of coconut. So again, if you want to purchase your nuts, very high quality nuts, and buy in bulk and save a lot of money, you can get all of these at Almond Cow. Again, I'm going to give you that discount to purchase anything you want from Almond Cow, the bottles, the machine itself, the nuts, whatever, at a discount. So purchase my cookbooks for that. Again, this is a 2-pound bag, and all of the same certifications are here: non-GMO, project verified, USDA organic, and glyphosate residue free, which is super important. That glyphosate goes by the name of Roundup. You might have heard it by the manufacturer's name or the commercial name. Roundup or glyphosate is a terrible ingredient that is actually used to spray our crops, and it is an herbicide pesticide, and it is volatile. It has been directly linked to cancer, especially cancer of the stomach and of the intestines. It's really terrible, not only for our soil and our fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and legumes and beans and everything that's grown and sprayed with glyphosate, but it's also bad for our gut microbiome. The body does not like glyphosate. It doesn't want glyphosate and Roundup in our system. And so it sort of starts to reject it. That is why sometimes people really develop these terrible illnesses and diseases from eating foods that are sprayed with glyphosate and not really even knowing it. And one way to avoid that is to make sure that your stuff, your nuts, your seeds, even your fruits and vegetable, make sure that you're going to get it from the highest quality source possible. Definitely matters if it has a little certification on it. It says glyphosate residue free. Purchase it. It might be like 25 cents more, but do yourself a good service. Invest in you and invest in the planet. And if you don't know, it doesn't have a certification, buy organic if you can. And that's how you're going to know that all of the herbicides and pesticides used, that there probably aren't that many, but if there are any used, they are actually going to be way lower toxicity level than all of these commercial grade Monsanto made chemicals like glyphosate or Roundup. All right, the next thing that we need is a little sweetener for our milk. Now, I'm going to use some dates. Now, I'm going to use fancy medjool dates here because I really like these. These come from Trader Joe's, and I really want you to use fancy medjool dates because they tend to be sweeter and softer. We really want you to use a juicy date when making a nut or seed milk because it's going to make for a really kind of sweet, caramely flavor profile in your milk. Now, this one you can see, I pop the pit out right from the middle, just like grab it with my thumb, and it comes out really easily. And this one is so caramely and sticky and juicy. Do you see this? That, you know what? I probably only need one, but I'm going to use another one, a tiny little one. Now, here's a great example. Sometimes you're going to have to pull off the top. Do you see that stem? That stem right there is very sharp. And also the pit. So sometimes you are going to have to pull this stem off, and this stem really can definitely cut your mouth if you don't remove it. So you want to remove that. Let's see, will the camera focus? It will if I give it a second. You guys see that? Okay, you see it. All right, so just remove that part and then open it up and then remove the pit inside. Okay, so this is a tiny, teeny little date. You can see that dates come in lots of different sizes and shapes, and juiciness levels and plumpness levels. So make sure to look at your dates in your clamshell. That's what this plastic container is, and get the juiciest looking or the plumpest looking dates that you can find at the market. Okay, fancy majoules. That's what I love. All right, I'm just going to grab my garbage can because I didn't do that earlier. All right, the next thing that we need is a little flavor agent, and I'm going to use some vanilla extract, okay? And I also added to this 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. So I added a little sea salt. You guys, I use sea salt in my plant milk because it actually will keep the plant milk longer in the refrigerator, up to 3 more days if you add salt versus if not. Now, if you're whole food plant-based and you don't do salt, oil, or sugar, that's okay. You can keep the salt out completely and just enjoy your plant milk within a few days, and it will be delicious, okay? But the salt itself doesn't change the flavor, I wouldn't say. It's only a 1/4 teaspoon. All it does is it really kind of makes it, preserves it. It is a natural preservant, and so it's going to keep your plant milk really super fresh. All right, I'm going to use a little vanilla flavor here as my flavor agent today, but this is totally optional. Now, I use pure vanilla extract that's alcohol-free. Again, this is from Trader Joe's, so all you Trader Joe's fans out there, get into it. I love this stuff. Now, I use alcohol-free extract because I don't use alcohol in my cooking and I don't drink alcohol anymore. For me, I would never had an issue with alcohol. It just never made me feel great, and I don't like cooking with it because I actually taste it a lot. And especially with the extracts, you know, when we're buying extract, mostly they're alcohol with a little bit of flavoring. So I opt in for the pure vanilla flavor or any of the pure flavoring agents like peppermint or let's see, orange or lemon, any of these that are the flavors, they call them pure flavors as opposed to extracts because they are alcohol free. It's going to give you more flavor for less money. All right, so I'm going to add just a dribble of this. This is totally optional, right? You don't need to use vanilla, but I kind of like a little bit of vanilla. I'm going to take a couple questions. Oh, thank you very much. You like my Disney sweatshirt. I got to get into it. I'm missing Disney. Yeah, okay, here's another comment. Roberta says, I love to use the pulp in recipes and dips. I love that you do that. I do too. What she's talking about is the nut pulp, and I'm going to show you this at the end. We'll come back to this, okay? But this is a really good reminder. Thanks for prepping us with this because it's a really good reminder that you can use all parts of the nut milk, not just the milk itself, but the pulp that is going to be the residual of the milk, and you can use it in baked goods like muffins and waffles and scones and, oh my gosh, cakes, crackers. I've made delicious savory crackers. You can actually use it to enjoy it just by itself. They call it pulp meal, and you can actually store it in the refrigerator and then drizzle with maple syrup on it, put some fresh fruit on it, and it's delicious. It kind of tastes like oatmeal, but it's like cold and pulpy and delicious. It's kind of just like nut pulp that's yummy and very high in protein and fiber. Okay, Cheryl asked a good question. Is there one nut that's healthier than another? You know, this is a really good question, Cheryl. Here's how I'm going to answer it. No food is actually better than another food. Here's how we identify food in the nutrition science world. We actually look at all food as equal, and some being best, some being better, and some being, you know, okay or good, right? So we can like give it a range. But if we're comparing, let's say, sugar to corn, we're probably going to say that corn is better than sugar, right? Like regular granulated sugar to corn on the cob. But let's say we're comparing corn to kale, then we're probably going to say nutrient per nutrient, kale is going to have definitely more nutrients than regular corn on the cob, which is going to give you a lot of antioxidants and a lot of starchy carbohydrates and maybe even some fiber, but lacking in iron and lacking in potassium and calcium, right? So it really depends on the food. So in terms of the nuts, no, there's not one that's better than the other. But what I will say is experiment, Cheryl. I want you to get into using different flavors and different combos of nuts and seeds in your plant milk, and you are going to love it. I experiment constantly. Sometimes I do a combination of walnut and almond. Sometimes I do cashew coconut, which is what we're doing today. Sometimes I do hemp seed and flaxseed or hemp seed and pistachio. It doesn't matter. You can enjoy it any way that you want. So lots of different combinations of nuts and seeds. And I will say the more the merrier. So when we start eating varied lots of variation of fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, beans, all of it. When we have a wider variation and variety of food, we can get more nutrients, all right? So span the rainbow, eat the rainbow, enjoy all the foods, all the plant foods that you can get your hands on. Yeah, good question. Here's from Eliza. She says, how about fruits from the farmer's market? Yeah, you want to check, are they organic? And if sometimes at the farmer's market, they aren't USDA certified organic, that's okay. Talk to the people that are selling the fruits and vegetables. Ask the produce mongers there, do you spray your fruits and vegetables with chemicals? If so, are they herbicides? Are they low toxicity level? Get into a conversation with them. They will want to tell you how they produce their fruits and vegetables, their produce, their nuts, seeds, legumes, beans, and all of that. And if you come across somebody that doesn't want to share information, that's probably because they are using some sort of chemical on their crops. But if you come across a farmer or someone that's selling you produce at a market that really wants to share about the products, you probably are in good hands, because if they're proud about it, they want you to purchase it. They believe in their product. Yeah. All right. Here's one more question from Lisa. Does it matter if the dates were organic? That's a really good question. And I'm going to say no to that. Dates are one of these things where you actually can enjoy them conventional. And thank you for mentioning this, Eliza, because you don't actually have to eat all things organic. And you don't have to, kill yourself or spend all the money in the world on just trying to go and source organic produce all the time. Find what you want and use the Dirty Dozen amazing environmental working group list that's called the Dirty Dozen. It is put out every single year. You guys can find it at ewr.org, and it is ewg.org, excuse me, and it is a list that basically is extracted from the USDA, the Farmers Association, and the United States Department of Agriculture put together this list of the 12 most sprayed fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, crops of all of them. And so they're going to put out a list called Dirty Dozen. And in every calendar year, actually they do it by season now. So every season you can go back to this list and you can find, okay, come March 20th, it's spring. So in the springtime, if I want new spring produce in my kitchen and to cook with, which of these am I going to avoid buying conventional, and which am I going to actually invest in buying organic? Okay, so check out that list. It's called the Dirty Dozen. All right, let's get back to making the plant milk. I'm going to take the next part of the machine. This is the top of the machine. It has this really cute little almond cow. Hello. I mean, how cute is that? Does it get any cuter? She's my friend. All right, put this into the basket, the filter basket here. And you kind of have to wiggle it around. I'm just going to show you. Kind of wiggle it around until the blade basically hits the bottom. And then there's this really important indicator. I'm going to show you in the front cam. It says close or open here. And you want to and it has a little arrow. You want to close it towards the closed direction. Okay. There we go. Close it by turning it towards the closed direction. And now this has the filter basket. The blade is inside. The top connects right to the base, meaning this part here is the electrical unit, connects to this part here, which is the electrical unit. Place it down. And then it takes less than a minute. You want to press your almond cow and it's going to go through 3 cycles. Here we go. This is a good question. Roberta says, I find I use cashew nuts in my recipes because they're so versatile. I love that. It's so true. Okay, one more cycle, and we're about to show you how delicious this is. Let me grab a glass. Okay, that's it. Now you know it's done when the almond cow becomes a solid green light. And now we're going to grab that collector cup that I mentioned earlier. Here's where it really comes in handy. You can take this off by just lifting it off, and then just let any milk kind of drip out of the base here. Remember, this is a filter basket, so there's a bunch of holes. That's how this is kind of leaking out. And then you're going to throw this right in your collector's cup. Now, do you see that this collector's cup, because of the grooves, it kind of keeps everything standing up. So you can actually just twist and remove it. And look what you're left with. This, my friends, is the pulp, okay? So this is pulp meal, or really liquidy pulp here. I have to tell you that cashew and coconut make this really delicious liquid. Other nuts like almonds or pistachios or tiger nuts, if you're familiar, some of these harder nuts, think of if they have a harder shell, it's probably going to give you a drier pulp, okay? But this right here, this is liquid gold. You could throw this into a pancake batter. You can throw this into a muffin batter, waffles, scones, like I said, crackers. But honestly, I love to just eat it right as is. I throw a little banana on it, maybe an orange, some orange segments, some berries, and some maple syrup, and it's a delicious breakfast. But here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's check out this milk. I'm going to unplug it here because it just makes it easier. I like these bottles here, which these are also on my Amazon page. If you want, glass bottles are the best, you guys. Invest in them if you can. And it's going to actually be better for the environment and better than a mason jar too, because you can actually fill this completely up with milk. Look at this. You guys can see it in the overhead. This is so creamy and foamy. Do you see that this has like this thick and rich foam? You can see it right in the camera. I mean, come on, how delicious, right? It looks like cow's milk. I'm telling you, it tastes better than cow's milk. It is so nutrient dense, so flavorful. It's going to save you so much money and time in the kitchen. And there we go, 64 ounces of very fresh milk. This is completely empty now. Ooh, there we go, right? Now you have an incredibly delicious jar of plant milk. I mean, come on. This is going to be way more than you're going to get in market. I'm telling you, like 3 times the amount that you're going to probably get if you buy this at the supermarket. And you're not going to get a cream top at the supermarket. When you buy this in the retailers, you're going to get a flat milk that's been probably made a couple months ago, that's been sitting on the shelves, and also has a ton of additives and shelf stabilizers. So you're never going to get this delicious frothy cream top. I'm going to just show this cream top to you in the camera. Look at that. I mean, how delicious, right? Yum. Okay, I really, really want to show this. I want to show you how I pour it into my glass here, and then you get a little bit of the cream top. And look how creamy it is. This looks just like regular cow's milk. You can see it's creamy, it's delicious. You cannot tell the difference between this and cow's milk, truly. I'm going to give it a little taste just to make sure. Before I do, I want to give this plant milk some gratitude. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. Oh my gosh. I've been waiting for this. I held out. I needed some milk last night, but I didn't want to make too much, so I didn't make any. I was waiting to do this on camera with you guys. Oh my gosh. Yum. Okay. So good. It's like my milk mustache. You guys, you have to try this recipe. I really hope that you do, because these staple recipes, like I said, are really simple. You can get these staple recipes in any of my cookbooks. Right here, I have issues 6, 7, and 8. You guys, please become a monthly cookbook member. That means you're going to get a new cookbook delivered to your inbox every single month. I'm super excited that we are growing this community together. And please join our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. It's totally free to join. But the cool thing about it, and what separates us, I think, from any other Facebook group that's plant-based focused, is that we are a combination of not only people from all around the world, but people that are animal eaters, people that are on keto, people that are on paleo, people that are 60% plant-based, 70% plant-based, 100% plant-based, people that don't call it plant-based and call it vegan, people that are just dipping their toe into the plant-based lifestyle. So we are a non-judgmental community of people from all over the world, and I would love for you to be a part of it, and tell your family and friends too. Please use this video as a resource, and know that if you want other staple recipes, I have an amazing recipe for plant-based cheese that only takes less than than 10 minutes to make. I also have an amazing recipe for plant-based yogurt and plant-based bread. I make it super streamlined for you. So if you're looking to really go into this and become healthier and commit to this lifestyle, I can help you with that, and I can make it easier than ever before. Thank you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and I really hope to see you next week. I'm going to be in the studio on Tuesday and Thursday with little videos that I'll throw throughout the week on my Facebook page at Chef D Malfi, on Instagram, and on Facebook at Chef D Malfi as well. All right, you guys, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Peace out.